Hello, good evening. Welcome back to the old microphone today because my entire house is being packed into boxes, which is why there's. How do I get it out of my camera? A ladder behind me. Very exciting. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, first, we have a pull request. Escape Paint Refactor. And so, disposable. Okay. Cool. So this is just creating our paints up front, I'm guessing. Yep. Oh, that diff is. How do you? I wonder if that helps. No, just a bad diff. Cool. Okay. Very nice. Yep, that's a constructor. Awesome. I will approve it. Thank you, Scott, for the contribution. Now, what do I, no. So often in GitHub, I want to press close and comment, but that doesn't merge it. So I will confirm this first. See, now I can't press. Oh, I guess it's closed. Okay. Weird. Anyway, wow, that's blue. Over there. There we are, it's a bit whiter. Live white balance thanks to Notepad. So, there's a pull request. Now, what are we going to work on? So I went and I logged a bunch of issues because I had some random thoughts, and between the to-do list that used to be up there somewhere and my random thoughts and, some of these things which Simon nicely logged for me, it was getting a bit silly. So there's lots of ideas. Some of these are like actionable. Some of them aren't. Some of them are, let's say, largish diversions from trains itself, and some of them are, continuing on trains. So what I did just before was I tweeted out, hey, if you vote or comment on an issue, then we'll do that one. Which doesn't give people a lot of time, so I'm not expecting much. But I actually also realized, so to vote on GitHub, you kind of just sort of thumbs up it, but you can't actually see that here. So as far as I know, that doesn't bubble up anywhere. It's kind of, unless maybe updated. No, updated 6 hours ago. Good evening, Scott. Yes, tags. Yeah, I probably should get better at labels for some of this stuff. But so specifically these two, I can't do today really because I've packed my MacBook away. Most reactions. Oh, okay. Most reactions by a specific reaction. That's interesting. Yeah, so maybe that puts a column in. But anyway. No. Yeah, so I can't do these two. There was one vote on Twitter, completely impartially, by someone that this gentleman knows, to do number 12, which, as you can see, is a large issue. So we may as well start with this, or at least some of it. So what this is Scott, who was one of the co-authors of the TypeScript trains game, and he was very much a large part of, if not did all of, the complex math, let's say. So things like drawing the corner tracks, which I struggled with for multiple streams, and making trains move around corners. So this is Scott's brain dump of everything required to make trains move. And I haven't actually read it yet because I was just going to go through it line by line. Some of this I do know. Some of this I probably have forgotten or just don't know. I'm also drinking water out of a glass because I've even packed my water bottles in a box somewhere. But anyway, so the first thing though is essentially these two, which I actually logged as an issue, kind of. Basically, create an FPS board renderer. So what we have here, and have I done my traditional first build off screen to make it fast? No. So what we have here is, well, it would be a stretch to call it a game, right? It's a track drawing program. So what makes it a game? Well, a game, to me anyway, needs to have something going on. So if I draw a track, we need a train that can go around the track. So that's, yeah, hopefully obvious. The biggest thing we don't have, the fundamental sort of missing piece, or the first missing piece of that puzzle, is right now this program is doing absolutely nothing. It only responds to clicks of the mouse, and when you click the mouse, it calls to redraw. Or, yeah, no, that's it. Only the clicking these does something else, but until you click here, nothing redraws. In order to have a train, obviously we need to draw a train, and we need to keep drawing it all the time. So we need to separate out, we need to have a loop that runs a game logic. Now, we could do that. We could just, run our game logic and call draw, and run our game logic and call draw, etc., etc. But that can get into problems where if drawing takes too long, your game starts being jerky in its movements. What you really want is independent drawing from game mechanic. And the way this usually works is you have two loops. One is a render loop, and one is a game loop. Now, if we go back to the issue, I wonder what render the board within a loop. So the interesting thing I'm not sure of here is whether we need two loops, because we essentially already have one by virtue of the fact that this is an application that has a message loop in it. Although, well, maybe that's an artifact of Windows only. Yeah, I guess for true cross-platform, we should probably have two. So a render loop and a game loop. And then what I thought with issue 23 would be perhaps a good starting point is we already have a system where we can provide multiple board renderers that do something. And so as a first step, if we provide a board renderer that renders the time up here, not the time, the frames per second. So basically renders the difference in time between the last time it was called to render up here, then that'll essentially be our frames per second counter. And then what should happen is as we draw our tracks, so right now I'm holding the mouse button down, that means the UI thread is essentially, excuse me, we're essentially in the loop. The UI thread is constantly firing mouse move events. So if the rendering happens on the same, in the same loop, that rendering will pause while we're dragging the mouse. So that would be bad. So it's a nice way to test. The issue, whoops, wrong one. The issue assumes one loop. So the issue assumes a render loop only. Okay, not a game loop. That doesn't sound right. So you said render within a loop, that's a render loop. But then down here we have game set call to the loop, created in the first steps. That seems weird. Anyway, one thing I might do is rename this because, oh, hang on, no, first I need to pull down those changes. But yeah, that board renderer name is it's getting a little bit wrong. Oh yeah, I updated the README while you weren't looking. I updated the README here, so this link actually goes somewhere because it didn't. Yeah, this this board renderer, let's just make sure we have those changes. Yep, cool. So yeah, this board renderer it's really like it's kind of just a layer. The fact that most of them take in a board is irrelevant, and the FPS one won't have to. So, naming things. Layer renderer? Sure, why not? Alright, so we have layer renderers, and I should commit that. And actually, since I'm since I'm actually doing issues, maybe I should do pull requests so I can do fixes. Anyway, so let's add a FPS renderer, and it's actually probably internal, and it's a layer renderer. Enabled. Oh, that's annoying. There you go. Let's enable it by default, and oops, FPS. Cool. So all we pretty much are doing with this one is drawing text. Let's just start with this. We're pretty much just drawing the 0, 0. We need a paint, so go that. And a read-only field. Can you use initializers here? Yeah, cool. Purple. Good color for FPS. Font size? No. Text size? Yep. The text size. Sure, 12. Alright, let's see if that works. Yes, we need to dispose. Oh, why doesn't it? What are you doing over there? Implement disposable. There is somehow, I know I've done this, I think I've done this before on stream as well, where it'll offer you to implement iDisposable through that field. Maybe you have to do this first. Yeah, there. Awesome. I love it. Okay, so let's just see if this works. That should be all we have to do. Thanks to the magic of DI. Yeah. Does this use... It still uses layers. Let's just go back to the WinForms one, because we haven't done the UI for layer toggling yet. Yeah, FPS is on. Okay, so okay, that's interesting. Didn't work. And it's still not working. What am I missing here? Remove text size. No, well, it's not even calling render. Do these need to be public? No, internal. That's right. Enable is true. Huh. Did it not compile or something? That's really weird. Maybe I need to pick font, but the render method should be called at least. Yeah, okay. Well, at least we're drawing now. So that's better. Alright, we just don't have any text. What's the bet? It's drawing it in the wrong spot. Text align left, scale typeface. Oh, wow. Yeah, let's leave that as default. Fake bold text. Interesting. Let's just move it over a bit. This is not the issues I thought I was going to have trying to create a render lib. Hey, there we are. I reckon it might have been the oh, that's it. Yeah, 1010. Okay, so maybe it's bottom left corner. Yeah, it must be bottom left corner. So if it was at 0, then it was drawing here up essentially. So yeah, I don't think there's a vertical align, is there? No, vertical text. Oh. All right, so this is obviously pixels, not points. So let's go half a cell, and therefore we can go x is still 0. This is 20. All right, so this should now at least draw. Yep. Okay. So for frames per second, what we want is, I guess we want to do, so time since last draw is so probably should use a stopwatch. Nah, this will be granular enough. In fact, let's just do milliseconds. Oh, I want total milliseconds. Yeah, alright, I'll use a stopwatch. Yeah, what's a tick exactly? Yeah, stopwatch. And we can just start new. Doesn't matter. So now is our stopwatch dot elapse millisecond. Yeah. Yes, I don't need to stop and start it. And in fact, a stopwatch doesn't actually do anything when you start it. It just captures the time, and then every time you call elapse, it just checks the time again. So it's fine. It's pretty lightweight. Okay, so now we're at elapsed milliseconds. We want time since last update is last draw time minus now. I guess that's now minus last draw time. And then last draw time equals now, which, you know, it's probably overkill to worry about those finer, the difference between this line of code executing and this line of code executing, but never mind. And basically, so, okay, if we know the time since the last update, then frames per second would be divided by as a percentage of 60. I'm just going to wait because Scott's going to tell me the answer anyway. If I had a piece of paper, I could work this out, but yeah, now's not the day. I've been packing all day. So time since last update. No? Yes. Okay, so, and here is, we can see visually the problem. There you go. The problem with not having a game loop. So this, this is changing every time we draw. But at the moment we draw based on what the user does, which is obviously not right. And actually, you can see here when I'm dragging, right? It gets really frequent. Well, we want that to be consistent. Let's do 1,000 that and FPS. So 1 frame per second. Anyone played a game recently at 1 frame per second? So if we draw like this, we're getting, like you can see it's going too high. It's flashing up to 100. If I slow it down, I can kind of go at 60. So we need a loop. We need this to be constantly at 60. But hopefully not exactly 60 because we won't be able to tell. Because right now it's constantly at 55. So anyway, we need a loop, and in the loop we will draw. So what we need to do is in I kind of don't want to put this in the WinForm stuff because then Comet won't get the benefit of it. So I need to put it in the game itself, which is fine. Although the WinForm stuff has the refresh. But that's okay, because I think I just want to get rid of that, right? Yeah, I basically want to get rid of every call to this because we're happy for the actions to happen, but they'll get drawn whenever they get drawn. Okay, so we can start a loop here. So let's create a render loop, or rather render timer, and let's do a timer. And yeah, systems running timer, why not? And then our callback can be, how can we render? That's interesting. So we could have the game create a surface and then call render and simply return the current. So the game is constantly updating what the current snapshot of the screen should be, and then the WinForms app just blitz that onto the screen. Let's see if that works. So on render, whoops. Can I? Yeah, okay. Object state. I don't care about any state. And delay before it's called back is 0, and our period. How often do we want to render? Well, we want 60 times per second, so yeah, we want 60. Wait, oh, this is in milliseconds? Yes. So we just want that. I think. No, other way. Yeah. Cool. And then create a field for that. Oh, yeah, 16 milliseconds, something like that. And yay, it's going to generate me a nice method. Okay. What's wrong with you? He is not null. What? Oh, whoops. Did I pick property? Didn't mean to do that. Okay. So, yeah, so what we can do now is, I believe, we go surface.create. Width and height we know because we have the width and the height, right? Yeah. Width and the height. Ooh, color type. Whoa. That's not the right overload. Oh, let's have a look. What overloads are there? There's only one that takes width and height by the look of things, so I'm guessing we're using that one. Yep. Okay, there's a lot of overloads. With height, okay. Another one. Dot. So, color type. I don't know. 888, sure. That seems fair. Alpha type. Well, let's go with that, but that's interesting if we can do some transparency later. Is this not disposable? No. Oh, it's obsolete. Oh, image info. Ah, okay. Is there a... No. Okay, image info. And I'm guessing it has all of those things. So I'll leave those as default then. Cool. Or do I have constructor? Yeah, let's use it. Okay. Use the constructor. Should have looked. Okay. So we pretty much now should be able to just render onto the canvas. And then what we can do is say current, well, let's call it view. There's a thing called a snapshot. Yeah, which returns an image. Excellent. Actually, I will make that a property. So let's make it a property. It's private set, and we will pull it up to the interface. And view is uninitialized. Nullable. Is there an empty here? Nope. Yeah, fine. Nullable it is. Cool. So then in that one, what's wrong with simple using statement? Sure. So much better. Thank you. What an optimization. So now we should be able to get rid of all of these calls. You know what? I should probably have just commented to that just in case. My keyboard control is not working today. Yep, still have that. I think there was another one I missed though. Now, paint surface, yeah, I gotta change that. That's done, that's done. Okay. Could have sworn there was another one. No. Cool. So then, where are we? When we paint the surface, we don't want to call render. What we want to do is, does that take an image? No. Draws the current surface on the specified canvas. Draw an image, which is game.view. And we want it at 0, 0, and a paint. That's interesting. Let's see if that works. I have no idea if this will work. I have no idea how well this translates to the drawable control from... Yeah, see, that's not working. Oh, and we have crashed. Ah, that's interesting. Why did we crash? Out of memory? Nope. Oh, you don't get a canvas. Wait, surface is null? What? Just created it. That's surprising. Okay. Wow. Right, let's go to the old Spear Sharp help and see why this will return null. And yes, I know it's obsolete. If it could be created and the configuration is supported, otherwise null. Okay. Is there anything? So I'm guessing I need to fill out some more details of this this image info. But is there any way to know why it failed? Otherwise null. That's it. That's interesting. This doesn't have a reason that it fills in, does it? Properties, no error. Alright, let's try specifying pass the active canvas into the game. But when you're assuming the canvas is the same for every paint, though. I'm not sure what. I don't know if that's gonna work. Let's try filling in a couple more of these. The active canvas into the game. So when, but that would still mean that drawing is still. Yeah, that didn't work. Drawing is still triggered by win forms, right? I really want to know why this didn't work. So the other way to do this is simply have the timer in WinForms land. And apparently timer calls overlap. That's annoying. No, it's not out of memory. It's actually returning null. Now it's out of memory. Okay, so timer calls overlap. That's cool. Good to know. Can I stop that? No. There is system.timers.timer. Let's see what that does. Okay, so this wants an interval. I'm guessing this then has an event. Yep. Let's see if this does any better and doesn't overlap. At least with this one I can stop and start it. Yeah, cool. Oh. Yeah, okay, right. Oh, is that what was null? No, I'm pretty sure surface was null. Was the thing that was null? Background worker, yeah. Could do that. Just semicolon. Yep, I did. Well, a background worker giving up its free time. I mean, a timer should do that too. So this clearly doesn't work. And why didn't my breakpoint get hit? Oh. I bet with these timers you have to actually start them. Dear. Okay. Oh, don't tell me it still overlaps. Oh, man. This is getting painful, and I think I want to move the timer out to WinForms. But we'll see. Okay. This should at least go to the next line of code. Right. Yeah, surface is null. That's really annoying. Because there's no errors. Oh, there's 8 weak references though. I should not be digging into this. Right. Why can't this be created? A 16-bit color ARGB. I mean, that'd be fine. I'm not fussy. Point. a 32-bit color. That's I don't see why any of these wouldn't be possible. I don't suppose I can step into Skier Sharp. It's also still running multiple times. That's weird. I wonder if... Hang on. The other thing I'm not entirely sure of. Okay. Good. Just checking there wasn't multiple instances of game here. Let's try something fun. So, debugging. Let's turn off just my code. Let's enable source server support. I wonder if Skier Sharp's outputs some symbols. And if not, maybe we'll just nag them to. Oh no, don't download from there. Dear. Oh no. Let me just turn that off. That's work getting in the way. I'm trying to download symbols for the entirety of Windows and .NET and everything else. I'm guessing there's no symbols. Can we step into specific? No. Alright. Alright, let's just do it in WinForms. And worry about the rest later. So, what we want to do is we want to put this back. So this is game.render. And we still don't want our refreshes. We just want a timer. I guess this is a WinForms timer, but that's okay, probably. It's called tick. Yeah. So this is a lot easier because we just do that. Interval is what did I say, 16, and we just start it. Let's see if this works. Cool. All right, that's nice. So we're hovering around 50, 60-ish frames per second. That's cool. And oh, that's interesting. So I was expecting it to grind to a halt when I dragged, because I would imagine those timer events are firing on the UI thread, and my mouse moves are all happening on the UI thread. That's very interesting. Oh, we're not debugging. Let's debug that. So if we go to debug and threads, yeah, we're on the UI thread. In fact, we only have the UI thread. Oh, well, that's surprising. I would have thought the UI thread would be blocked by dragging. Anyway, there we go. We are drawing at, sort of around 60 frames a second. We have a render loop. Cool. I just want to get rid of this though. How do I... Container. Do we have a container given to us by WinForms? Maybe? Is that null? Hmm. Is a site an I container? Nope. Can I set a site? Well, no, it hasn't made the disposable happy. Ah dear. I will have to dig up some old WinForms code to see how containers work. Maybe you just create a container just from scratch. Anyway, cool. Maybe I'm not moving the mouse fast enough. Maybe my computer's too fast. I kind of don't trust that. That feels wrong. Whoa. Yeah, see? What? Oh, okay. So it's still painting when it resizes. Is that me doing that? Or is that... No, that's just the control. That's very interesting. So you kind of want it to be immune to that. I wonder whether there's a paint. So paint is the normal, like that's the standard WinForms event. Paint surface, I would have thought would be, only when skier needs to. So that maybe it would handle the paint event by itself by just remembering the last thing. But maybe we need to flick a property in order to get that to work, or look that. No, so there's nothing here that's like, double buffered or anything. I mean, not that I'm complaining about how it draws, because it's definitely flicker free, which is good. Is there anything on, what's on info? Is that the image info? Yeah. Actually, curious to see what that contains, though. Whether it'll shed a light on why we're getting null before. So, Premil, excellent. And yeah, size is fine. What was our color type? BGRA 888. Okay. Interesting. Alright, anyway, we have a we have an FPS thingy. Let's create a field. It's read only. Put an underscore in front of it, and we will dispose it. What's wrong with setup controls? It does not access instance data. Okay. Actually, is ski view even needed anymore? Probably not. Nope. Cool. I like it when I can reduce the scope of something. Alright, 1 FPS renderer. Looks good. I'd be very keen for someone else to try that on I might try that later on my laptop on battery powered, because yeah, I really don't trust that is right. It seems too easy. Although it is a bit annoying, I need the timer in WinForms. I really wanted to have less WinForms. Cool. Other FPS renderer. Oh yeah, we can get rid of all this. In fact, I can revert that entirely. And that one. Cool. I need to branch because I said I would PR. So FPS renderer and loop. And Cool. Oh, it also did that. Whoops. Bad me. Okay, so that was number 23. So let's create a new pull request from you. It fixes number 23. Cool. All right, so tick. We are rendering the board within a loop, sort of. Measure time, done that, and we've done that. Limit maximum frame rate. So that would be useful. So how do we limit maximum frame rate? We have to. Do we suspend the timer? No. Do we just occupy enough time? See, a thread.sleep for some amount of time there might make sense, but again, being on the UI thread. All right. Let's read together. Set up a way of storing all moving entities within the game. Absolute XY and a reference to the current cell. A reference to the current cell and an XY relative to the cell. That's interesting. I would have calculated the reference on the fly from the XY, but that's all right. We can always change these things. Add code to render function to do a square. Yes, we need a train renderer. All right. Well, let's keep going then. Why not? So back to mass. Oh, no, see, PRs are annoying because now I want to merge this PR in order to get it master up to date. That's right. We'll just keep going here. Okay. So now we need a train tool. Is what we need. No, actually, ooh. Oh, should I put a render loop in here? Well, not in here, but in here. See, is there an invalidate? Invalidate measurement. A refresh. Force. Request layout. Yeah, there's not. I don't know how I would do this in Comet yet. I might have to play around with that off screen. I could put a timer here, but yeah, refreshing Comet. All right, let's not worry about it. Let's draw a train. And by a train, I mean a dot. And to start with, we need, therefore, where are we? Tool. Why is tool in the rendering layer? Okay. And here. So. Oh, good, I can merge this. It's tempting to actually do a different issue first. So I also logged this issue, which is to rewrite the tool system. Currently, tools are a bit weird because, well, they're defined in rendering, so that's weird. It's on the delegate. What's on the delegate? Oh, the refresh method is on the delegate. Oh yeah, I'm calling it here. It is on the delegate, but yeah, I mean, I guess I can put a timer on here. Maybe we should try that quickly. null 0, 16. Create a timer and create a timer. Why do I do that every time? I'm losing my touch here. Read only field. Yeah. Critical one, that's what was selected. Okay, so oh, this is easy. No. Invalidate. And then I guess we get rid of that and get rid of that. Well, let's see if it works. What's the worst that could happen? I guess it blows up or something. I don't know whether you could hear that rubbing of the cord against my t-shirt, but it was annoying. What happened? Did it fail to build? Did it crash? I'm going to guess it crashed, because it seems to like to do that when you put timers in the wrong spot. The calling thread cannot be that because a different thread owns it. Wow. Okay, so now we're... Alright, now we're going to... At least we got some threads now. Now I can actually predict. It changed to re-trigger it. Oh. Why? That's... What the... Why can't I see my current thread? What the... Whoops. Didn't I do that? That's weird. I want to see more than just one thread, please. I know I must have more than one thread, because this thing said, like, this is a different call stack to this. That's so weird. Well, anyway. Alright, so in the time we need to marshal onto the UI thread in order to render, that makes perfectly sense. Is there a dispatcher in Comet? Yeah, parallel stacks might have had it. Virtual drawable control. I don't want that, but the native one would have a dispatcher, presumably, being WPF, but I don't know if it exposes it. No. Doesn't look like it. Do we want to muck around with Comet, or do we want to not? And actually, when I say dispatcher, I'm kind of thinking WPF, but this bit of code here has to be cross-platform. So that's not going to work. Yeah, let's do trains. Let's not worry about it. So, as I was saying, it is tempting to rewrite the tool system before adding a tool, because I don't like that the tools are enums. And so you've got to have an if statement that says do this to this. And all of the, like the on mouse down method in a game, that's kind of horrible. What would be better would be if a tool was a class, then, I mean, the game doesn't actually even need to import a list of tools. This is unnecessary. We just get rid of tools from games altogether, get rid of mouse from game altogether. A tool has an execute method. And so the current tool can be tracked by simply the WinForms app, and then it just calls the execute method, and that's it. The tool imports GameBoard and does what it needs to do, and it's completely separate. What do we say? Do we do that first, or do we just add a train? I will ask the audience of one. Well, it's not an audience of one. It's just one person talking. Anyone else who wants to comment, please feel free. Hi, I don't bite. If you're on YouTube, sorry. Too late. Let's do tools. Let's do that properly, because if we've got a render loop, then I feel like this mouse stuff feels even less relevant. And it means we can move our tools into here, I believe. So let's add a track tool, and it's an eye tool, which is a funny word I will keep saying. Yep, generate that file up. And so, what do we want? Whoops, I pressed F11. Stop building. We want this to have a name, so it can appear in a button. And I guess eventually we probably want to have an image. Never mind. And to start with, we'll just do execute, and we'll. Oh, that's why tools live in rendering, because they have pixel coordinates. Well, I've decided we're now not doing that anymore. So executed that row and column. That seems fair. And we are simply going to do this is a track. And when we execute, so we need Fractal needs a game board, which we need to initialize, and then we can simply say game board dot add track. Oh wow, that's yep. So that's pretty easy. As far as tools go, that's a much nicer implementation, and now we just need 4 of them. So a pointer tool. A pointer tool is easy, because a pointer tool don't need that. Don't need that. I need that, but don't need that. Pointer tool is a no-op. We have an eraser tool. Did I rename pointer tool? Yes. An eraser tool takes a game board and calls remove track. And a whoops. A train tool, which is train and doesn't do anything yet. Okay. So now that we have our tools, I'm putting code in main form again. Never mind. So main form needs all of the tools. All of the tools. It's interesting to me that up until now, oh wow, it doesn't even reference train engine. It does. Oh, did I do that? Did I do it internal? Oops, my bad. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting to me that up until now, main forms didn't need to use it for a thing. So now this is tools. This is eye tool. And when we create a button for our eye tool, this is name. So current tool becomes a Windows function. Checked. That's interesting. All right, let's do this. We'll fix this later. First of all, let us create our current tool. And we will just do that. All right, so there's a, we'll check things. So, wrong one. So we set our current tool when the button is clicked. So then when the mouse is clicked here, instead of this, we lose right mouse button, but that's okay because we were going to lose it anyway. We're going to lose it because Comet doesn't support it. So essentially all we need to here is call execute, but we need the column and the row. And to get a column and a row, we of course need a pixel mapper. And we don't have one of them, so let's import a pixel mapper. Let's try not. Yeah, yay for cross-platform, yeah. Cross-platform, which in this case just means removing features. Pixel mapper dot pixels to chords. X, Y. Cool. Is that it? Again, that seems really easy. Okay, we still need a game. We can't get rid of that. I'm just going to align these a bit. It's kind of a long list now. But that's okay. Good old DI. Yeah, let's see if that works. Oh, I've just thought of one problem we're going to have. The order is going to be... Oh, wow, we lucked into it. No, wait, that's... Really? Wow, it works. Oh, this is Comet. Wrong application. Does game have a pixel mapper? Give the game a tool and a point. Yeah, I could do that, but I kind of... Why does it need to go through game to execute a tool? Like, game is in rendering. The actual engine, I think, should be kind of able to work independently. This doesn't work, evidently. Oh no, track. Oh, it does work. I just click train. Yeah, okay, so the order is mucked up. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. That was so easy. That's amazing. I love it so much better than if statements. Yeah, so game's kind of a crappy class. I don't really like it. And fortunately I can get rid of this method. But like size, it's okay, but I feel like that's not its concern. This rendering, I mean, if you had a renderer that cleared the board, then you could get rid of this and just loop through the rendering. Like, game's kind of a bit, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing game go away one day. It's got a terrible name, if nothing else. So we can get rid of current tool, we can get rid of the tool enum. Oh, I love it. So much code cleanup. Does that compile? Why don't I have an error list? I'd love to see a dependency chart graph. Yeah, me too. Oh, I have an error list. It's just full screen. Okay, what am I missing? I'm missing a bunch of things. Oh, okay. I have earned myself pain by... See, if I'd finished Comet. If I'd finished Comet. But It felt like too much don't need that. Too much non-train work. Tools, tool dot name, current tool is a tool. Current tool can be a local. Isn't that cool? That's kind of nifty. No, it can't because the delegate. This is the thing that needs the tool, right? Yeah. Oh, and this is the thing that needs to pick some number. Okay. So we don't need this. We need this to be a local. And I guess this delegate dot current tool is tool. Oh, we do need to pick some up because we have to pass it through. Ha. Now, a second question. Do we want to try and do ordering in our DI system now? Or do we want to not worry about the order? Where's that code? Oh no, it was in the click event handler, somewhere up here. Do mouse click. There is. The moment you have inverse registration ordering. Inverse registration order. No, I'm pretty sure it's alphabetical by file name. I thought I tested that once on one of the streams. Last at the top. Really? Yep. And same thing. Name E. Oh yeah. Oh, what was it? Int points 0. X points 0 y. Using directives unnecessary. We don't need that. Gameboard is never assigned to. Yeah, but it will be. Bear with me. Let's fix up all these errors. Think of it like a stack. The default resolve grabs the last registration. Oh yeah, okay. You're right. Oh yeah, no, it is reversed. My apologies, you are correct. Although, wait, no, that's actually just... No, that's reversed because of the adding to the UI. The enum is in alphabetical order. And that's, again, started the wrong front end. Cool. Yeah, alphabetical order. So, track. Yay. Alright, we have overhauled the tool system. At the moment, you have inverse registration ordering. I'm curious to know why you think that. inverse registration. Basically, the ordering at the moment is by whatever get types returns, which happens to be alphabetical by file name, I believe. Although it's documented that you shouldn't rely on the ordering of that. Yeah, file name or class name, or maybe both. Alright, anyway, let's commit this because I believe we have solved this yet. Is valid. Now that's an interesting one. So the other approach with doing, or the other thing that an OO system for tools could allow would just be more smarts without a bunch of if statements. So if we had an isValid method, for example, a track, well, the most obvious one, I guess, would be a train, would not let you put it down on a track. So you draw a track, and then with your train cursor, this goes not allowed, and this says yes. And you could follow that up. I was thinking like a some kind of I don't know if this would be a renderer or exactly how this would work, but kind of SimCity like if this grid cell colored in a little bit red, and then you hovered over here and it got green, so you could see where you could put things. And I definitely think that is worth doing in future, because if we do the idea of having larger track pieces, right, like a 2x2 or whatever, you're going to need that, because here it's green, but here we can't because we'd be clobbering the thing. So yeah, we could go further with the tools, which just makes me think that maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just separate those out to a separate issue. Let's do a new branch for now, though. I need my Git client because I can't think in GUI at the moment. So what I want to do is fetch latest. And then if I rebase this onto master. Oh, yeah, right, fair enough. Oh, that's right. I should now, pretty sure this should be, master should be at this same point. 3366872. Oh, interesting. Oh, I guess with the merge commit. Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, I can rebase this onto master in a minute. So, first of all, what did we do here? We did something silly, right? Yeah. So this is formatting. Yeah, I have fetched. That's what, so Git up here is an alias for up to date. Too many years spent with SVN. SVN up is in my blood. So this is all tool stuff. That'll be all tool stuff. That'll be all tool stuff. That's certainly tool stuff. And so is that. Cool. So, if we commit all that, now if I rebase onto master, I should find, yep, and so then I can check out a better named branch, which is, today you learned what? Surely I didn't teach you something about Git. Hang on, stop the clock. Did I accidentally teach someone something? Now I have a need to explain it in more detail. Or just today I learned that I have an alias called up. So yeah, in case, alright, I'll explain it, in case anyone doesn't know what's going on. So master was here, and then I did, I did this work first, but I forgot to push it. So actually, master was here. I did this commit, and then I did this commit, and then I pushed and did a pull request. And so that merged into master with this pull request. But I hadn't got latest yet, and I was still on my branch at this point. But that's fine. So what I did was I just committed. So now I know that everything. I've now got everything I want, but it's all in the wrong branch. So by rebasing, what happens is Git will essentially undo these two last commits I did until it gets to a point where there's a commonality, which happened to be, well, actually it would have been this one. And then it replays these two commits on top of the branch I said to rebase on. So it would have unwound to here with this not being present. Gets confusing. Then set itself to here and then put back these two commits. And I know that between these two commits, there's no actual diff of code. So there was no conflicts, there was no worries. But that's, that last bit there is only an implementation detail that I happen to know that because it's my code and I know no one else has been committing to it. So this is rewrite tools. Git-b is not the correct command. It is get checkout-b, which is checkout and create a new branch. Now I will do this. That should be a slash. Maybe it shouldn't be. I've forgotten how to use Git again. Cool. And even better, I get this lovely URL. I can type in here. Oh, I don't even have to type in there. I just press this button. And so this fixes number 21. Cool. And what I'm going to do is create a new issue. In fact, I'll get rid of that. It doesn't need to do that. Done. New issue. And we'll do the rest. Yeah, this is basically going to be necessary if we ever get bigger tracks, because you won't know what is happening unless you do that. So how can I make sure I'm not in this state again? Well, what I would normally do here is I go back to master, update it to latest, and essentially I would now wait. Like I would usually wait for this to merge and then I'd worry about it. And normally that waiting would take a few days, right? Because people have to review the code, etc. Emailed lens stream delay like that. So yeah, normally I would just do nothing. I'd go back to master, knowing that these changes will come in and I keep working. And I guess no, see, I can't do that because I want to build the train, which means I need the train tool class I just committed. I probably shouldn't have committed it, actually. That probably should have been left out, but anyway, too late now. It's not too late at all, but I can't be bothered changing it. So yeah, okay. So what I actually really should do here is I should just go back to that branch and keep working, and then just do the same rebase thing when I need to. So we are implementing a train tool. A train tool, which is here. And we're going to do it the lazy way for now, which is calling add train. Hiding a change in a refactor. Well, I didn't do that, did I? Oh, I did accidentally with the train, but I did the FPS renderer change separately. That was nice. We're going to call add train because that's straightforward, and we're going to implement add train. Easy. Yeah, so this validation could go to the tool system, but now that I think about it, maybe it's not the responsibility of a tool. Maybe a game board needs that. Maybe they both need it. So back to our. Oh. Okay, I'll merge this there. Back to here. So a way of storing trains. Okay, we can do that. I'm just going to follow Scott's directions blindly. Oh, I don't have a train yet. Okay. Yeah. Let's generate a train. So a train can only go on a track. But does a train need to know the track it's on, or does it ask the game board? I feel like it's better to ask the game board. So I'm going to do a contains. So if there's a train there, then we can add a train. Oh, well, that's just silly. This is not a dictionary at all. This is just a list. We don't know anything about trains. They're just trains. And yeah, okay. I've just realized another thing we could do with some more OO and some more DI is there's no reason the game board has to hold the tracks and the trains. We could have a track collection and train collection that we can get via DI. That might be interesting. Because, so essentially, let's say, for example, we want roads and cars. We either have another dictionary called cars, or roads, and then another list called cars. But that's obviously, that's limiting. Or we genericize this. So this isn't a track, but it's a cell of some kind. But the thing is, the cells can't interact, right? A road and a track, we don't want them to form corners and things. So they need to know what type they are. And if you just have them all in one big bag, then you run into problems where everything has to do type checks. Plus, there's no reason to assume that a cell can't contain a track and a train, right? It's called a bridge. We could do that. We could have fancy renderers that go and look out for all the bridges and render bridges, and all the other renderers just give up on bridges. So it's kind of it doesn't fit a dictionary. It kind of fits in multiple dictionaries. You could have a dictionary of dictionaries based on type. So yeah, anyway. Or you could have a dictionary with a list. So a dictionary of column and row with a list of tracks, a list of cells. You could do all of that. But actually what might be easier is have a collection class. So if there is a bag of tracks, like Scott has said, an iBag of tracks, then anyone can import the bag of tracks. And in fact, the tool can import the bag of tracks and add to it. The renderer pulls out the bag of tracks and renders some or all of it. So that would be interesting. What it would mean is that the game board, again, becomes less important, which is cool. I like things becoming less important. The other thing that occurred to me today we're getting so far ahead of ourselves, it's not funny, but wouldn't it be awesome if you could write your own, as in you could write your own, system of things, I don't know, monorail tracks, and this could load your DLL, which exports the right classes, and then everything just works. That would be amazing. But aside from a collection class, the other thing we are missing for that is metadata. Because having an iBag of tracks doesn't actually work. Because you essentially, if you have an iBag of tracks and you have a renderer that knows about an iBag of tracks, you essentially have this heavy coupling between things, right? A bridge renderer needs to know that it's rendering bridges that are trains and roads. It can't render bridges between two arbitrary things, which maybe is not necessary, but I think it's more interesting. But so if we had metadata on the export, so let me explain what I mean by that quickly. So we have a track, and it doesn't currently implement anything, but let's say this is an I cell. We could have metadata here in an attribute that says cell type, and it could have some kind of enum. Now, what that enum is, I don't know. I mean, it could be train track, right, if we want to tie it to trains. But it could also be, we could even have multiple of these, and we could have, something like cell capability, like can join to. So you, dear viewer, could supply a monorail implementation. Yes, I'm writing an abstract game engine. Exactly. It was not an abstract game engine. It's a very specific game that draws trains. I know what I want it to be. So, like, I have a vision. I'm getting there. But if you want to use it as an engine as well, I don't see any problem. So if someone wants to write a monorail, then in the monorail level, you tag some metadata that says, I know how to interact with roads, and you supply the renderer that can draw the monorail going over the road. Anyway, that is so far beyond where we are. It's just not even remotely funny. But it's 10 o'clock at night, and I've been sneezing for a week because I'm allergic to dust, and I'm packing up a house, and it's kind of warm, and those are my excuses, and I'm out of water. So, all right. So back to here. This is interesting. I would not have thought to put a reference to the current cell it's on top of in a train. And I know you've said here easiest to start drawing with, so I'm definitely going to do that. But I wouldn't have thought there'd be any other way because, well, partly because of immutability, right? When we are drawing a train, we don't want the game board changing out from under us while we're drawing. So I feel like that's a lot easier if, perhaps what really should happen when drawing is the game board gets passed around, not via DI, but as a state thing. Here is the state with all of the current values. And then game board is immutable, and every time you want to add a track, you actually get a new game board back. Something like that. If the train has a reference to the cell, I feel like that would be harder. Could be wrong, but you'd have to, essentially to get a snapshot of state, you would have to go through and fill in all of those cells with copies. Yeah, I could be wrong. I haven't thought about that for more than 2 seconds. Come on, intelligence. All right, so we have a train and it's at a rotor column. And then I think the thing you said to do next was to add a train renderer, and that's pretty easy. Whoa, class 1, sure. Train renderer. That is the wrong name. No. This is no, it's not what's called layer renderer. And this is not called a train renderer, because a train renderer would render a train. This renders a trains. Naming. Yes, converted to passing in board of state. Yes. Well, I mean, converting between the two at the moment is just take a dependency on game board and say, hello, is there a track here? But yeah, I'm kind of in my head down the future in my uncoalesced plans. Game board is the state that everything runs on, and it's immutable. Yeah, trains renderer, why not? That's a terrible name. But it's enabled, and it's trains, and much like track layout renderer, it takes in a track layout. Oh yeah. Oh, right. Here I was thinking it takes in a collection of renderers. It doesn't. It gets a collection of trains. Very different thing. Okay, so it takes in the game board in order to get its trains, and we loop through train. This train, that's internal, isn't it? Seems to be public. And gameboard.get trains, which we shall create in a moment. And we need a train renderer. And we're going to, yep, and then we're going to, oh, fix typo. What do you want to fix it to? No. Didn't I do that before? Yes. Huh? Okay. And then we're going to call canvas.save and train renderer. Oops. Train renderer.render canvas and train. Cool. Generate that method, generate that method, generate all the methods. And let's get tracks. We want to get trains, which is much easier. It's just train, trains, train. I am saying the word train. Okay. So we need a train renderer. And let's draw a rectangle at train.column. Oh. Good old pixel mapper. I wonder if it's possible to get rid of the pixel mapper too. No. Well, it probably is. Probably put in some weird translation layer where you draw that like sub pixels and then it multiplies everything by cell size. Anyway, where's my track render? I'm just going to copy code. It's much easier. Oh, this doesn't take pixel. Oh, yeah, because this thing takes the pixel mapper and it does the translate. Actually points to give both values. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. All stuffing rendering could certainly do that. Yeah, there could be like a get tracks extension method that returns them, but also adds in more information. Do we want to do the translate thing? Let's not. Oops. Let's just see how it goes without it. because it's not that exciting. Trains can be long because they can have carriages, so they might not want to translate. Plus, yeah, translating's not that hard. Canvas, draw a rectangle. So x minus 5, minus 5, x plus width and height. So 10, 10, and let's do a paint. No, just a paint. A pint for, I'm not that off. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to draw this, and I am going to say, well, that's enough. Bedtime. Color is red. Red's good. Oh wait, did you do the palette stuff? Should I be using a different... No, you just did the paint thing. There's a little spoiler for viewers. Scott is planning a palette system whereby colors can be specified once, which is very nice. What are we doing? We're doing a style, is fill, and that'll do. And now we get to use my favorite fixer. Okay, let's see if this works. This should draw a dot in the top left corner of a cell I click on. I've laid my bets. Nothing up my sleeve. We'll draw some tracks because it should do nothing here. It works. Well, that's it, everybody. We have trains. Oh, we have a lot of trains. Trains can't be put where there is already a train. Do I want to add that now? Sure, why not? Otherwise, I'll forget. So if there's a track there, and tracks dot any not tracks, trains dot any so there are none of them. Awesome. I believe, according to Scott's law, we have done this, we have done this, and we have done this. Also, entity count layer like FPS for a number of tracks trains might be helpful. Yeah, I guess. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this one. This is where we're at tools. So we want to, no. Okay. Let's add train. I feel bad calling it train. And in fact, you know what I'm going to do before we do this? Yeah, the debug layer. I think I'll rename FPS to debug layer and put that info in. But before I do that, I want to do, does pixel mapper, no, parameters has the cell size, right? Track parameters, that's a terrible name. It's not necessarily tracks, but okay. So this actually is, so if this is top left coordinates, I want the track parameters dot cell size divided by 2. That's in the middle. Minus 5. So that, and yeah, let's do that everywhere. Yeah, so 2 spots. Yeah, so that should at least now be in the middle of the cell, right? just for slightly better, ugly-looking, dodgy debugging trains. Yay! Cool. So we have added train drawing. No, that's not. Added proto trains. These are also potentially ideal trains, as in. So I used to. What am I doing? I want to fetch. When I remember doing physics, and I used to. Yes, sorry, forgot what I'm doing. Where in physics class we used to, all these theoretical experiments were always run in a world where there was zero friction and everything was exactly on a point. So it was perfect physics world, and this is perfect trains world, where a train is a single point, it doesn't move. Proto trains, that was a good name. I'm happy with that name. Upstream origin, proto trains. Is there a way to push without setting upstream? Because I'm going to delete this branch in like seconds. There probably is. I don't know what it is. And then I find myself in the same situation again. I keep doing this. There must be a better way. Yeah, you know what? This doesn't even fix anything. Maybe I shouldn't bother with the pull request for this one. Yeah, this doesn't even fix an issue. Okay, so what I want to do though is debug. Make this a debug layer. Diagnostics. That's what we're going to call it. And we're going to call it. So we need a game board now. Do a constructor. That's ugly. So ugly. That's better. Board. I just realized I should probably apologize. My keyboard's probably extra loud today because I'm using a different mic, so the filters are probably wrong. But oh well, you've clearly dealt with it thus far. And if you're on YouTube, you haven't dealt with it, but you have no cause for complaint. Get tracks. Count. Tracks. Y. You know what? I should have done. Yeah, I'm gonna be fancy. I'm gonna be fancy for no reason because it's late. I'm gonna do y plus plus times 20. Oh yeah. Let's give it a room to breathe. So we have tracks, and we should have trains. It's not too bad. Oh, the typing? Yeah, cool. Yeah, my good microphone's in a box up there. So this is OPSEC, but put it on my boxes. Oh my god, so many boxes. I'm breaking OPSEC, which probably doesn't matter because I'm moving out of this house. So if you work out where it is, it doesn't matter. It won't be here. Track. Oh, look at that. That doesn't work at all. So I forgot to change that method name. But that's okay. The rest of it works. Most importantly, the y plus plus times 25 works. It's about the level of math I'm confident with. Like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be fine. I really want to implement ordering because I don't know if you can tell that on the stream, but the grid is on top of the diagnostics. See, alphabetical. Kind of looks ugly. 35 tracks and 1 drain, 2 drains, 3 drains. Amazing. And just for good measure, even though there's no reason this shouldn't work, but this is the one with the render loop, so this is the important one. I should probably turn off the diagnostics layer, actually. Drain, yeah, that works. Yeah, diagnostics being on top of the grid. Okay. Still hasn't finished. Did we do this? Not yet. Okay. We are going to leave it there, but I'm going to implement one more thing. Does it go in the DI or does it go in? Yeah, somewhere. Memorable. Could go in the DI, which presumably we can add factories for specifically wiring up INU which would be fine. Or Z order. Well, yes, a layer of Z order, that's right. Or at the consumer side via a convenient extension method. Either way, ordering. So if we do ordering by attribute, the cool thing is that essentially that order is then metadata. So if we ever do metadata on DI, we'll be halfway there. Although, if we're going to do metadata on DI, probably should just use MEF because it supports it out of the box. And it's what I use at work anyway, so I know it. It's just a bit old. So I thought I'd use the new hotness instead of the oldness. Why is this yellow? Oh, those analyzers. That bug should go and like upvote or something. Get everyone to brigade it. Cool. Can I merge my PI yet? Oh, come on. Azure DevOps is having a slow day. You know, I don't need that pull request. I could just push this. That would be rude. Yeah, it'd be rude. Alright, so now I can't. I can check out the new branch, but I can't rebase anything until I've merged this PR. Yeah, I can merge the PR. Fetch. Oh, I think that fetch was a bit too early, but we'll see. No, I did it. Excellent. And then, so if I just push, does that work? No, because there's nowhere to push to. Can I push without setting upstream? I've never tried this before. Why is this taking so long? I'm scared it's pushing the world. Okay, I think that works. So what I did there, So what I did there was I pushed. So on the server, on GitHub, there's a branch called Diagnostics Renderer, but my local branch does not point to it, which is totally fine because I'm about to delete it, and my local branch as well, because I don't need it. Yeah, I gotta stop doing pull requests for these things. Oh, now I can show you. Let me just, what branches do I have? Comet. Yeah, cool. So if up updates, what does cup do? Well, short for cleanup. It just deletes all those branches. So yeah, I don't need to track branches when I just delete them. Easy. Cool. Well, I'm going to say that that is a day. An evening. We did quite a bit there. That was good. And by the end, you should see it. Be able to see. That's correct. Can I edit this? Tick. Oh, I wanted that. Oh no, now I've ruined your indentation. Sorry, Scott. Where to go? By the end. What? Oh, different by the end. By the end. No, wait. By the end. This one. Oh. Anyway. Cool. So we did this. Delta T. Modify the game loop to measure time between each game step. Modify the game step function to take in delta T. Whew, it's getting hairy, but I get where you're going. You have a speed. Take off some speed. Yeah. Cool. All right. Excellent. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for chatting, Scott. Thank you for watching if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube. Next week stream hopefully will happen, but it will be in a different house. And that house does not currently have any internet, so we will see what happens. It will be me hunched over a laptop on the floor of this house. And yeah, I also want to try and get one more stream in per week. I just don't know when I'm going to do that, especially as I'm moving house. But maybe the week after next, we'll see 2 per week. But anyway, thank you for hanging out, and please feel free to create an issue with a suggestion or an idea or wacky something or other, or just, upvote something you want to see next. If there's something I glossed over you want me to explain again, more than happy to. I kind of started out this stream explaining a bunch of MS Build stuff that I really wished I'd known before I started on the project system team, and it was really fun explaining all of that. But now I'm just like working on trains because it's fun to do that. But I feel like I'm missing that explainy bit, which I would like to do because I do enjoy it. So yeah, let me know. And that's it. Thank you very much. Sleep well. See you later.